I want my mannequin to be standing there and I want him to be looking out. And if we go and check the animations, I don't really have anything that's doing that. I have some scared ones, I have in texting, but nothing like what I like. So now I'm going to show you a great resource for getting all sorts of animations into your Unreal scene so that you can tell your stories. We go back to our browser and we're going to search for something called Mixamo. Click on that and you'll probably need to log in or create an account, but it should be completely free. And then you get this extremely large library of assets. So you can click on any one of these, it loads up, and you can preview it over here and change some controls. Now you can change your characters and even download and use these characters for free. But we're using the mannequin and we're using a certain skeletal structure that's associated with Unreal Engine. So the best way to approach this is actually to upload our own mannequin so that the animations match him exactly. Now, luckily, someone has done all the hard work for us and made exactly what we need. So if you search Google for Terribilis Studio, or just follow the link I leave below in the lesson notes, you'll come across this website. So we're looking for this Mixamo converter. So if you scroll down a bit, under softwares, it's right here. And you want to download this, direct download. Now this software is completely free. It's not harmful. Many people have used it. It does look a little weird. Once that's done that downloading, you can unzip that. I use 7-zip, it's also free. And extract, but it's going to ask you for a password. So what you need to do is come back to here and copy this one, or just type in Terribilis. Paste it in there and click OK. And that'll unpack it for you. Now, if you ever forget these instructions, he's left them here on the website, but I'm just going to walk you through it really quick. So we want to go into the mannequins folder, and this is the mannequin we want to upload to Mixamo. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go to Mixamo, and over here on the right, I'm going to click Upload Character. I can either drag and drop into this box, or I can select it, go into my folder, go into Mannequins, and click Open. This will upload and then process the mannequin. And then you should see him in the scene like this. So this is the first part. And now, whenever I click any animation, it's applied to our character. So you can actually also control some stuff here. So on the right, I can change his speed. Let's say I want him to slow down, have a longer stride, maybe look a bit more try-hard. And then I can download the asset right here. And again, all these downloads are free. But for now, I want someone drinking a cup of coffee looking out the window. So I'm going to search for drink. Now I get a bunch of drunk animations, but up the top here, the first result is actually pretty much what I want. So it's a bit too exaggerated for me. So let's lower the intensity all the way, maybe lower the overdrive, slow it down a bit, and let's see what this looks like. Yeah, that's pretty good. But because I know I'm going to be shooting his left side, I actually want his right arm to be the one drinking, just because it'll look nicer in the frame. So I'm going to hit mirror. And now his arms are clipping through a little bit. So I'm going to up the character arm space. And there we go. I like that. So I'm going to hit download over here. And the options you want to choose is FBX. This is the file format Unreal likes. You want to choose without skin. Now, this can be confusing, but essentially all we want is the bones moving. We don't care about what we see here. because we're going to redirect those bones to the existing body inside Unreal. Don't worry too much if that doesn't make sense. You'll figure it out later. 30 frames per second is fine. If we wanted more detail, like maybe we wanted to slow this action down a lot, we could go up to 60 frames and we'd get more detail in there. And for keyframe reduction, I just leave it at none. Then I hit download. So you can go through and download as many animations as you want here. Typically, I'll do batches of like 10 at a time. Even ones I just want to preview, I'll download and get them going. Because the next step is to take it back into this Terribilis program and convert it so that it works perfectly when we import it back into Unreal. So I'm going to click here, show in folder, and it's going to show that drink in. So I'm going to click Control X because that's to cut, and then I'm going to paste it in that mixer mode converter, income in FBX. I paste it right here, Control V. And any other animations you download, just paste them into here. Then we come back up, scroll down to here, and just double click on Mixer Mode Converter. Okay, and then you just left click on it. Left click again. And we've already done step 1, which is to upload the mannequin. We're going to do step 2, convert. So if we click that, we decide what file name we want to give it. So it's going to keep the same file name. So that's drinkin. And we can append extra text on the end. So let's call this underscore mannequin. And then we click convert. And that's done. And now it's put it in an outgoing FBX folder. So to find that, we can click here and it takes us straight there. So it's given us this drinking mannequin.fbx. Now, this is a great time to mention how you should organize these files which you're using with your project, but which Unreal Engine doesn't necessarily care about after the initial import. I'm here in my Introduction to Filmmaking folder, and this is where my project is. So these are all folders that Unreal Engine uses. Now, I don't want to put my files in any of these folders, but typically I will create a new folder right here. And I'll call it Working Files. You can call it whatever you want, whatever makes sense to you. And this is where I'll put things like my Maya files, Houdini files, these kind of animations, extra assets that I plan on using with Unreal, just so I know where they are later. Because after you import them into Unreal, Unreal doesn't reference them anymore. You no longer need any kind of association. But it does help when you want to make a change in another program for you to be able to find the source of these assets. So we've made that folder. I'm going to drag this in, move it into there, and now we can bring it into Unreal. We're already in the animations folder, so this is a pretty good place for it, under mannequin animations. So there's a few ways we can bring things into Unreal, but the most simple is probably the drag and drop. So bring up your window, left click, drag and drop right here. And if we click on this, we've got this import dialog box. So for most of these settings, you can leave them at default unless you find you're having issues. The first thing we've got to do is tell Unreal which skeleton this belongs to. So if we click this drop down, you can see it's got our cradle in there, it's got fan blades, but we want to scroll down and select UE4 mannequin skeleton because that's what this animation relates to. And after you do that, you can actually just click import. And there it is. If we double click on that, we've got our mannequin inside Unreal playing that animation. Perfect. So now I could move my mannequin to be in front of the window, but we're not in a shot yet. So I want to jump into a sequence first so that it overrides his position. I don't want to change his default location. So if we go back, let's minimize the advanced glass pack and then go into cinematic sequences, left click there. And even though we want to work inside shot 2, we should really get in the habit of opening master and then shot 2 from inside there. It's going to make your life a lot easier. So open master and then double click on shot 2. So here we are. So the first thing I want to do is add my mannequin to sequencer. So I'm just going to left click and drag him in. He comes with an animation track and a transform already. So let's apply that animation. So just click plus animation, drag in mannequin. My playhead was at 3 frames, so I'm just going to drag that back to 0. And he's currently inside the couch, but he is playing the correct animation. So I'm going to look around the scene. I'm going to grab between the X and the Y, the red and the green axis, this little square, and I can slide him anywhere around the floor then. So I'm going to drag him over near the window. I'm going to press E, rotate him round, and have him looking out. In this lesson, we've gone over how to add animations from Mixamo to our Unreal Engine projects.